The National Autism Association is pointing parents to resources following a string of fatalities involving autistic people. The nonprofit says nearly all of the deaths could have been prevented. Local 5's Alex Fulton is here to break down the numbers. Alex?
Well, Larissa, last year, on average, 6 autistic children in the U.S. died from running away from their parents per month. That includes drownings as well as traffic deaths. The National Autism Association is concerned that similar or even greater numbers could come by the end of the year.
It is concerning.
In the past few weeks, a 17-year-old was shot and killed by police in Idaho, an 18-year-old was shot and injured in Detroit, and a 21-year-old went missing in Washington.
Sometimes we do see these clusters. When we get into the warmer months, they will become more and more common.
Last week, 5 children with autism drowned after running from their parents, one of which took place in Altoona.
If a child or adult with autism is ever missing, especially if it's a young child, search nearby water first. They will typically go to the nearest body of water.
The string of incidents led the National Autism Association to share a statement on Facebook.
There are many resources out there for families, and with the help of media and community partnerships, hope that we help as many people on the ground.
One resource the nonprofit offers is what's called a big red safety box with tools for different settings.
These boxes include door alarms and safety decals. It includes an ID, a wearable ID for the child that's engraved with their name and address.
For younger kids with autism, the National Autism Association provides emergency profile sheets that share signs of escalation.
It can be provided to schools, relatives, neighbors. It has a communication key at the bottom that parents can see.
Other Iowans say Pope Francis's death is bringing back memories of their own encounters with the Holy Father. Local 5's Alex Fulton talked with 2 Iowans on how they're remembering him tonight. Alex.
Well, Stephanie, Audra Boffer and Antonio Banuelos met Pope Francis in 2 very different settings. Both could tell from their experience, though, he was kind and down to earth.
This was all blocked off for, media and so we were about right there. And
while on a college spring break trip, Audrey Boffer from Urbandale accidentally saw the naming of Pope Francis.
This was me waiting in St. Peter's Square.
After a tour of the Vatican museums, Audra and her roommate went to St. Peter's Square. They thought they'd see black smoke signaling conclave would continue into the next day.
It just so happened that we ended up seeing the white smoke and we were able to stay and see everything happen. It was pretty remarkable.
The remarkable moment came at 5 p.m. on March 13th, 2013, according to Audra's own records.
And there he is. He's teeny tiny.
It was well before the world would know the name Pope Francis.
He did a lot of good for religion and for humanity in general, just the general population. And so I was sad to hear that he passed away.
Years later in 2020, while on a pilgrimage with the Knights of Columbus, Antonio Banuelos from Pleasant Hill introduced himself to Pope Francis.
We told him, we're original from Mexico, but we come from the U.S., we're migrants in the United States. And then he answered to us in Spanish.
At a mass that same week, Antonio got to speak with the Holy Father for a second time.
On his way out, I was next to the aisle, and I was able to say, "Your Holiness, please pray for migrants." And he stopped and looked at me and said, "I do it all the time. Please pray for me."
Now I'm told that Audra was one of only 2 Iowans who saw the Pope's first appearance, while Antonio was the only Iowan on his pilgrimage. Stephanie?
ADR Axles is building a 54,000 square foot manufacturing plant in Perry. The Italy-based company makes axles, braking systems, and suspensions primarily for farm equipment. Local 5's Alex Fulton shares how it's giving this community hope.
This is definitely some good news.
Good news for the city of Perry. ADR Axles is setting up shop in the Perry Industrial Park.
Last year, losing 1,200 plus jobs was definitely a huge setback for us.
It comes after the town's major employer, Tyson, closed its plant almost exactly a year ago.
So you're bringing the right people to town to have the right jobs for the people that are displaced in their jobs right now.
ADR Axles will offer 35 jobs at its new North American headquarters. Thanks to tax benefits from the Iowa Economic Development Authority, 12 of those jobs will pay around $31 an hour.
We want to make sure that we're focused on attracting quality jobs, quality workplaces for our residents and anybody that works there to be able to thrive within those positions.
ADR Axles was eyeing Midwest and Southern states, but ultimately settled on Iowa.
I think them getting to know the Perry community made them feel that this would be the place that they could call home, and they just were really impressed by how welcoming and helpful that community was.
The Perry Industrial Park still has hundreds of acres available, and the hope is more companies come in.
When one door is shut, another one opens, and we're hopeful that there'll be multiple doors that open, and this park will be robust and will continue to grow.
The plan is for construction to begin later this year, so the facility can open either late next year or in 2027. In Perry, Alex Fulton, Local 5 News.
The city of Perry is still regularly communicating with Tyson to try and get a new company to move into the old Tyson plant. City officials say they're limited in the incentives they can offer potential buyers as the facility lies outside city limits.
Drake Relays Week continued with the running of the Grand Blue Mile. Local 5's Jake Bren has more on the record-breaking night.
Thousands upon thousands crossed the finish line behind me tonight at the Grand Blue Mile, all of them leaving accomplished. The biggest race of the night, the Champions event, had more stakes than ever. Two of the greatest Iowa prep runners of all time, Carissa Schweitzer of Dowling and Shelby Houlihan of Sioux City East, both running in the Road Mile USA Championship. The top two finishers head to the World Championships. Down the final stretch, Schweitzer looking for a final kick, but it's Chrissy Gear who wins it. The top five finishers all break the American record, including Schweitzer and Houlihan. A dream come true for the Olympian from Urbandale.
It was so fun to be able to run a road mile in the streets of Des Moines. Like, that's just a dream for me. So it was really, really cool. I grew up like coming and watching this race, and to be one of the ones fighting for the win at the end was just such a surreal experience. And I'm really happy with where I'm at right now in the season.
In the men's race, Vince Cietti comes down Grand Avenue and wins his third USA Championship overall and second in a row.
The win is amazing, defending my title, but it's a U.S. team that means the most.
Those four racers punched their tickets to San Diego and put on a show for the thousands here on Grand Avenue.
And the families of nearly 7,500 Iowa children could soon lose access to child care. The Trump administration is trying to get rid of Head Start, a federally funded early childhood education program. That's according to an internal memo obtained by the Associated Press. Local 5's Alex Fulton shares what could come from the cuts. Alex.
Megan, last year Iowa received over $89 million in federal funding for Head Start. The Trump administration argues eliminating it nationwide is necessary to return control of education to the states. Drake Head Start's executive director tells me he's worried about what it could mean for the families he serves in 6 different Iowa counties.
Head Start is that kind of hand out of poverty.
For decades, families have relied on Drake Head Start for accessible child care.
It serves primarily families who face additional challenges in life, whether that be coming from a low-income community, experiencing trauma in their lives, or a disability.
Executive Director Ryan Wise says it's a free service offered to qualifying families with children from birth to age 5.
It is so gratifying to see these children at such young ages really engaging with high-quality teachers.
If the federal program is cut, Drake Head Start would be out over $12 million annually, losing its total budget.
The loss of federal funding would be a disaster for our families and our children who receive Head Start services.
In a statement to Local 5, Iowa Head Start Association Executive Director Lori Ferris responded to the potential cuts, writing, quote, "Reducing support for Head Start wouldn't just impact children, it would disrupt the lives of working families across Iowa and deliver a serious blow to local economies. This is more than early education. It connects families to health care while fostering stability and long-term success." Wise wants the program preserved to protect not only the 900 children Drake Head Start serves, but also his 115-person staff.
But our hope is that not only will Head Start funding not go away, but that ultimately it will be strengthened, because we know there's 60 years worth of stories of the impact that Head Start has in local communities.
The elimination of Head Start will require approval from Congress. Both Drake Head Start and the Iowa Head Start Association are urging people to contact their elected officials to voice their opposition. Megan.
In Iowa, laundry detergent currently has a state sales tax rate of 6%. However, House Republicans are wanting to remove that extra price that you have to pay to clean your clothes. Our Connor O'Neill has the latest from the State House.
Since the last election, state officials have researched and debated how to lower the cost of living for people in Iowa. And on Thursday, the House passed a bill removing the 6% sales tax on laundry detergent and soap.
Recognizing these items as basic necessities, not luxuries for Iowa families. This bill is about doing the right thing, cutting taxes on everyday essentials and helping Iowans keep a little more of their hard-earned money.
Laundry soap is the latest household item lawmakers propose to remove its sales tax. It comes one day after the House passed legislation to remove the tax on toilet paper. Speaker of the House Pat Grassley filed both bills after he mentioned wanting to lower everyday costs on grocery and household essentials. Grocery items like fruits, vegetables, and eggs are already exempt from the state sales tax.
Anytime that we can put more money into the pockets of Iowans for everyday items is always a good thing, and it's always good when we have bipartisan collaboration on this.
House Democrats previously said although this is important, they have introduced many bills this legislative session they believe will help lower costs. With the House passing the bill on Thursday, it now heads over to the Senate for that chamber's consideration moving forward. Reporting from the state capitol, Connor O'Neill, Local 5 News.
As the city of Oskaloosa works to address housing issues in the community, a group of high schoolers found a way to be a part of the solution. I visited the site of a new home they're building from the ground up to build a better future for their community. Most high schoolers aren't exactly in the market to buy a home. But in Oskaloosa, the construction trades program poses a unique goal for students. Build one before you graduate.
It's kind of away from like the normal stuff you would do in school.
Since September, the teens have spent almost every morning here, gaining hands-on experience.
I'm a hands-on guy. I can't sit in a class all day.
In each aspect of home construction.
So you can learn how to put a doorway in, put windows in, run wires, wire up an outlet.
Senior Joshua Van Dossler believes he'll be a cut above the rest once he enters the real world, with more skills in his toolbox to succeed.
I'm going to an electrical apprenticeship after I graduate, so this is like jump start now. So I know majority of the main stuff in a house, and I can just go and apply it to a real world.
The program is designed to open doors for future careers in the trades, as demand for skilled workers is high. But there's an even bigger demand in Oskaloosa that these students are helping meet.
We are about 1,500 units short, housing units within Oskaloosa and just within our city limits.
With more buyers and renters than available homes, the city's housing shortage is a constant struggle. There's a lack of available land, and builders are turning out fewer and fewer houses each year.
A lot of these are custom homes, and when we're building a few a year, that's just not enough to meet that need.
And that's where these students step in. Though it's just one house at a time, they're making a dent in the shortage and building homes that will stand the test of time.
Tell my students 20 years from now, you're going to drive by here with your family in the car and you're going to point out and tell them that you built that house when you were in high school. And so I think that's pretty cool.
Well, if all goes well, the house should hit the market next month, and the work doesn't stop there, as they've already secured a lot in the Fox Run neighborhood for next year's build.